All right, so this is lesson 3.3 about real zeros of polynomial functions. And we're going to do two things. We're going to talk about long division, and then we're going to talk about synthetic division. So historically, kids have preferred synthetic division, so just hang in there. Long division can look a little intimidating, but synthetic is like really quick. So basically what we're trying to do is factor stuff, or like use a factor to find the other factors. And remember, factors are like, if we had x squared plus 5x plus 6, the factors would be x plus 2 and x plus 3, because when you multiply those, you get back here. So that's what the factors are we're looking for, is like the sets of parentheses. So the first thing we're going to do here is, my formatting got a little bit off. I don't think your guys is printed like this, but x squared plus 2x minus 3 accidentally got printed down here, so sorry about that. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to divide 8x cubed minus 1 by 2x minus 1. So what we're going to do is the 8x cubed goes on the inside of the, the quotient or the division symbol. And what's goofy here is, hopefully you notice, this goes from a power of 3 all the way down to a power of 0, and there's nothing in between. So just like when you divide with regular numbers, if there's nothing in that place, you need to put a 0 there to like hold that spot. So what we're going to do is we're going to say 8x cubed and then plus 0x squared plus 0x and then minus 1. So the white pieces are just like placeholders. Then we're going to take the 2x minus 1 and we're going to put it on the outside. This is something that I do. I don't know if all teachers do this, but it's really important with division that you keep lanes together, and that helps you keep like terms together. So what I do is kind of like organize these by lane. I'm leaving the first one blank because you'll see we're never really going to use it, I guess, but I guess whatever. I'll just make a lane. Okay. So when we do long division, we really only care about the first term for each to start with. So here and here, these are the two things we're interested in. The question is, 2x times what would get us to 8x cubed? Or you could think of it as 8x cubed divided by 2x. I prefer the other way. It's easier for me to think of, how do I multiply from 2 to get to 8? That would be 4. And then x cubed from an x, I would have to do x squared. 4x squared times 2x would get us 8x cubed. So because this is what it would take to multiply to get to 8x cubed, we're going to put it in the x squared lane because it's an x squared term. Then, just like regular division, we're going to go through and multiply it. And this is where it's weird. You have to multiply by both pieces. So if we take this times 2x, we get 8x cubed. And then if we take this times negative 1, we get negative 4x squared. So we're going to put our cubed in the cube column and the minus 4x squared in that column. And then just like division, we subtract. So 8x cubed minus 8x cubed, that first term should always disappear. If it doesn't, you goof something up. Then we're going to do 0, so this one, minus this one. 0 minus negative 4x squared becomes positive 4x squared. Then, just like division with numbers, you bring this down, plus 0x. Okay, so now we're going to look again at the first term and this first term. So 2x times what would give us 4x squared? And in that case, it would be 2x. And it's a positive 2x. So we're going to put it in the x column. Just like before, we're going to go boop and boop, multiply both of those. 2x times 2x is 4x squared. 2x times negative 1 is negative 2x. Then we subtract those. 4x squared minus 4x squared is 0. That's what we want. 0 minus negative 2x becomes positive 2x. And then again, we bring this down. Now, we look at the first term and the first term. 2x times what gives us 2x? Well, it would have to be 1. And it would be a positive 1. So now we go boop, boop, multiply by both things. 1 times 2x is 2x. 1 times negative 1 is negative 1. When you subtract those, we get 0, a remainder of 0. So when they wanted us to divide, our solution, or like the final answer, is 4x squared plus 2x plus 1. It's the thing on top of the square, the division symbol. Okay, so the next one, super similar, just different numbers. It just takes a little bit of practice. So again, just be patient. Synthetic division's up next. So we're going to go boop, boop. And on this guy, we have 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Perfect. We don't need any placeholders. We can just throw it in. 2x to the 4th. 4x cubed minus 5x squared plus 3x minus 2. On the outside is where we're going to do the x squared plus 2x minus 3. Alrighty, so I'm going to do my lanes again. Wow, that got a little crooked. Sorry. Boop, 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 boop. And then, let's see, green. How about that? Okay. Great. So, here, what we're going to do, same deal. Focus on the first term and the first term. So, x squared times what would give us 2x to the 4th? If you guys want to pause this video and like try to figure it out yourself, do that. But it would end up being 2x squared. So we would have to put it right in this column because it's an x squared term. So this time, we're going to go this times that, and 3. So 2x squared times x squared is 2x to the 4th. 2x squared times 2x is going to be 4x cubed. And then 2x squared times negative 3 is negative 6x squared. When we subtract those, we get a 0 for this one because those cancel off. 4x minus, this is a positive, 4x minus 4x cubed, those drop off also. And then negative 5x squared minus negative becomes plus 6x squared. So it really ends up being x squared. Now, with this one, it's a little funky because we have 1, 2, 3 things. We're going to have 3 things every time. So with this one, I'm going to actually bring down this and this one, just so we have 3 things to like subtract from, I guess. So now we focus on first term, x squared times what would give us x squared? And that would have to be 1. 1 is just a straight up number, and it's positive. So we would go this times that, and that, and that. 1 times x squared is x squared. 1 times 2x is 2x. 1 times negative 3 is negative 3. When we subtract those, the first ones drop off, x squared minus x squared. Then we have 3x minus 2x, so we have x. Shoot. Hey, you guys, I just noticed, real quick right here. Oopsie. Here, I'll just override it. Nope, we're good. I'm sorry, I thought I missed a sign up. Never mind, we're good. So then we have -2 minus -3, which is like 1, because it becomes -2 plus 3. So in this case, unfortunately, we have a remainder, okay? So what we're going to say this time is our solution is 2x squared plus 1. And so because this x is positive, we're going to say plus, and we're going to put x plus 1 over x squared plus 2x minus 3. So again, this is from the top. This is our remainder. And this is our divisor, like the thing on the outside. This would be our final answer. Okie dokie. All right, cool. So now I'm just gonna have us go down to the synthetic division, and then after I show you synthetic division, I'll make a second video for the other examples, okay? So with synthetic division, it's like interesting because it's kind of reversed. So instead of the division symbol being one direction, it's actually going to be the opposite, like this. And then what you're going to do is, instead of putting the whole thing on the outside, if you set this equal to 0 and then solve, that's what's going to go on the outside. Then here we have 3, there's no 2, there's a power of 1, and there's a 0. So we're going to go 5x, nope, sorry, not x. We just do the coefficients, I'm sorry. So we have a 5x to the third, 0x squareds, 6 x's, and then 8 as just like our neutral number. So in order to do long division, what we're going to do is just drop down this first number. Okay, so we put a 5 right there. Then on the outside, you multiply just like we did before. So we would say -2 times 5 is 10. Oops, just kidding. It's -10. And then on the inside, you're going to add. So we would get -10 here. Then, again, on the outside, you multiply. -2 times -10 is 20. On the inside, you add, so you get 26. On the outside, you multiply, so you multiply those two, and you get -52. I have a cheat sheet, that's why I knew what that was. And then on the inside, you add, so 8 plus -52 is -44. So a lot of times, people will do a little box at the end, because the last number you get is your remainder. And if it's 0, it means there's no remainder. This is the one part that if students get confused, it's right here. So in the very beginning, we started with the highest power being 3. What we're going to do is reduce it because we've divided by an x. So everything is going to decrease by one x value. So we're going to have 5x squared, so 1 less. Then we're going to have -10x plus 26. And then -44 is our remainder. So we would go -44 over x plus 2. Because it's still like the factor, like the thing that we divided by. This is just like a funky way to do it, okay? So on the inside, you add. On the outside, you multiply. And then this is your remainder. If you want to try the next one, go ahead, pause the video. You can do that. What we'll do here is we'll say, all right, if we set this equal to 0, x equals 5. Then if we check here, we got 3, 2, power of 1, 0, perfect. So we can just copy those numbers. We don't need placeholders. 3, negative 17, 15, negative 25. Whatever comes here is going to be our remainder. So we drop this down, and then we're going to multiply. So 5 times 3 is 15. On the inside, you add, so we get negative 2. 5 times negative 2 is negative 10. On the inside, you add, so we get 5. Then we do 5 times 5 is 25. On the inside, you add, so we get a remainder of 0, which is great. In the beginning, we started with a power of 3. So that means our solution is going to be a power of 2. So it's going to be 3x squared minus 2x plus 5. And then that's it. We don't have any remainder.